That's what I am going to do. Well, first of all, before I enter the debate, let me say a few thank yous. पहला आशीर्वाद इस किताब के लिए शांता जी मुझे आपसे मिला. आपने हिमाचल विधानसभा में एक चर्चा की थी कि राष्ट्रपति प्रणाली पर ध्यान दिया जाए. जब मेरा मन बना कि ऐसी किताब लिखनी है, मैं आपसे मिलने आया. आपने मेरा उत्साह बढ़ाया. मुझे लगा कि ये एक ऐसा टॉपिक है जिस पर मैं कुछ कर सकता हूँ. एक कारण, जैसे डॉक्टर फिरोज ने कहा कि मैं वहाँ बहुत साल रहा, तो एक तुलना मैं कर सकता था. और यहाँ बहुत साल रहने के बाद मुझे लगा कि जो मूल समस्या है भारत की, वो शायद ये प्रणाली है. इसके बारे में कुछ लिखना चाहिए, कुछ शोध करनी चाहिए. तो मैंने ऐसा किया. और शांता जी, आपके आशीर्वाद से मैं आगे बढ़ा. फिर मैंने आपको एक बहुत मोटी करीब दुगने साइज की एक मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट दी. बाद में आपने उसको बड़ा समय निकाल कर पढ़ा. मैं अभी भी उसमें आपका आभार व्यक्त करना चाहूँगा, क्योंकि वो वास्तव में एक बहुत मुश्किल डॉक्यूमेंट था. उसको बहुत छोटा करने की ज़रूरत थी. पर आपने वो पढ़ा, फिर पत्र लिखकर मुझे आगे बढ़ने के लिए मुझे प्रेरित किया. तो मैं आपका बहुत आभारी हूँ. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. दूसरा आशीर्वाद मुझे कुलदीप नैयर साहब से मिला. About 3 years ago, you had written that India should seriously consider the presidential system. I called you and you asked me to immediately meet with you. We did. And you gave me some guidance, you gave me tips. I recall how you called me especially to say that I should address the issue that how the presidential system cannot become a tool for an authoritarian regime. So I wrote that. Actually, it became a separate chapter in the book because of your guidance. You were kind enough to actually go through that manuscript of that chapter, and you did say that it was convincing. In that chapter, actually, I addressed the main concern that you have raised about the authoritarian instincts, or the possibility of how a presidential system can or cannot turn authoritarian, which of course it cannot. And I cite many examples of that, many reasons for that in the chapter. But I thank you for taking the time to guide me, taking the patience of reading my work, and I really appreciated the strong testimonial that you gave my work, which actually is on the back cover of the book now. And Dr. Shashi Tharoor, you gave me the tonic when I needed the most. I was looking for publishers at the time, and I sent you out of the blue a manuscript of my first chapter. We had no connection before that. I actually sent it to your official office email ID. But within 2 days, this man responded with such warmth. And he had read the 30-some pages within 2 days, and he gave me such a strong testimonial that it adorns the front cover of the book, and I think those words are a badge of honor for me, so thank you very much. I'm grateful to all these speakers today, obviously, for their guidance, for their wisdom, for their words of advice, but above all for their generosity and for their warmth. So please give them a round of applause. Before I get into the debate of Nehru and other issues, let me say a couple of more thank yous. I would like to thank my dear colleagues from Divya Himachal, the newspaper that we publish. They have given me the support and the encouragement throughout. This was a long, grueling process of some 5-6 years that it took me to research the book. But everyone in our team gave me such support, so I really appreciate that. Some of them are here. Our chief editor, Anil Soniji, Vice President of Marketing, Inderjeet Singh Pannu is here, and some other people, our manager of events, Pankaj Sood. So I'd like to thank them all. But one man in particular I would like to say thanks to. This is our dear chief editor Anil Soni ji. सोनी जी, आपको हमेशा जब भी मौका लगता है आप हर चीज का श्रेय मुझे देते हैं, तो इस किताब का श्रेय मैं आपको देना चाहूँगा। आपने दिव्य हिमाचल की इतनी जिम्मेदारियां संभाली और मुझे समय दिया इस पर काम करने के लिए, तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, मैं आपका आभारी हूँ। Of course, I'd like to thank HarperCollins, the editors at this fine publishing company are downright professionals. Kartika ji, you have a fine team. Your entire team, from editorial to marketing, and people that I've met thus far are not just professionals. They are really dedicated to their job. They really like working in this field, and they're kind-hearted. So I really appreciate that, and kudos to you. I think you've done a great job. Thank you very much. When we got to Ajita ji, the senior editor who was the commissioning editor on the project, she saw the value in this right away. Within 2 weeks, I think, we had a deal signed up, and I really appreciated that. Then Anthony Thomas is here, who was the editor assigned to the job. There he is, my savior. He saved me from a couple of big blunders, as well as some some minor ones, and a lot of detailed work. He painstakingly went through the entire manuscript, checking out each reference. As Dr. Tharoor said, it is a very thoroughly researched book, so citations and references are many. Anthony, thank you very much for going through this all and helping me out with this. I'd also like to thank one more man, Kanishka Gupta. Where are you? Kanishka was here just now. He is our literary agent on the project. He's the guy who brought me to Kanishka ji and to Harper. I would like to thank him because he had the divine eye. He was the first one to see that this book was had something, and he brought us to Harper, and I'd like to express my thanks to him. He was just here, I don't know where he went. So thank you, Kanishka. One more person I'd like to thank at length, but we're lucky she's not here today, my wife Lisa. She is with our children in the US. Actually, I'm desperate to get back there myself. I'm leaving right after this event to go see my children, whom I have not seen in 2 months. So she's with them. She's a professional editor herself, and being a professional at this and the love of my life, she really shaped me and the book to be what it is today. So thank you, Lisa. A few announcements. Let me get those out of the way before we open to questions. One is that you'll be pleased to know that we are doing a Hindi version of this project. इसका हिंदी का संस्करण हम लोग निकालेंगे. अभी हार्पर से मदद मांग रहे हैं. हार्पर से शायद हमको ये मदद भी मिलेगी. कार्तिका जी, प्लीज कंसिडर दैट. हिंदी के हम अखबार हैं. दिव्य हिमाचल, आप शायद समझ ही गए हैं, दिव्य हिमाचल का एक लीडिंग अखबार है. हिंदी के पाठक को हम समझते हैं. हिंदी के पाठक की जो मांग आई है अभी तक, जो कवरेज सोनी जी ने अखबार के बारे में किया है, तो उससे हमें लगता है कि इसमें रुचि बहुत है. ये टॉपिक ऐसा है कि ये सिर्फ यहाँ एलीट्स ही और बंद कमरों में ही इसको डिस्कस नहीं किया जाए. ये टॉपिक ऐसा है कि इसको लोगों तक पहुँचाया जाए. तो शायद एक जो चर्चा डॉक्टर थरूर ने भी कही और शांता जी ने भी कही, वो शायद छिड़ पाएगी. तो एक हमने मन बना लिया है, इसका हिंदी वर्जन हम लोग लाएंगे. हिंदी की जो किताब होगी वो थोड़ी सी डिफरेंट होगी. हिंदी की किताब एक तो सरल हिंदी में होगी, दूसरा छोटी होगी. उसमें एक समरी के रूप में हमको उसको पेश करना चाहिए, और वो ऑब्वियसली उसको हमको सस्ती भी बनाना है. तो ये हमने एक निर्णय लिया है. इसमें हम चाहते हैं कि हार्पर कॉलिंस इसको आगे बढ़ाए. तो वी आर होपफुल. we've also set up a website for this project. It's called presidentialsystem.org. Presidentialsystem.org, the vision behind that is to create a global resource on information about presidential system. I'm actually surprised that none exists. The need for this debate is global. Parliamentary versus presidential form of government is increasingly becoming a very important debate. Governments are now a crucial part of life throughout the world. So we think that this is needed, that we provide more and more information about the presidential form of government. So we've, of course, right now that website is dominated by this book, but we are putting more and more information and articles. Dr. Tharoor's article that he mentions, the Tehelka article, and the earlier ones that you had written for the Times of India that I did quote in the book, they are already posted on that website. Another very famous columnist, Tunku Vardarajan, had written in 1999 that India should switch to presidential form of government, so that article is there. Kuldeep Nayyar Saab, your article is there as well that you wrote in, I think, 3 years ago. So we're putting more and more information there. We have gone a little bit further on the website. We are asking you, viewers, to take action. So you can actually petition there for a new constituent assembly. I know it's far-fetched, but I think the sooner we start, the better.
This is .org, not .com.
Presidentialsystem.org. Right. Org. And of course, we are increasingly more and more active on Twitter. So if you would, please follow me on Twitter at Bhanu Dhamija. I am seeking support on this project, and I'm seeking people like Dr. Shashi Kapoor to help me with that. So if you would, come on Twitter and let's get going with that. Questions. The two that I am asked most often: why did I write the book? And is it really possible that India would adopt the presidential form of government? As to why I wrote this book, first, I think I was uniquely placed. I had lived some 18 years in the US, and then about the same amount of time here in India. So about half my adult life was spent in each country. And while in each country I had gone to school, I had built businesses, I had studied, I had raised family. So I had seen life on the ground in both countries. One of the most useful things that I thought I could do was to bring that first-hand experience, and which is lacking in many efforts made earlier on this topic, because they were written mostly by people who either knew the parliamentary form of government or the other, but rarely do you see someone who has written with complete knowledge of both. And I say complete because I did have to do a lot of research on both, which is what is reflected in the book. The second reason I wrote this book is really evident on the streets of India every day. The pathetic quality of life that we have here, the situation in Parliament that we see on a daily basis, some statistics Shantaji mentioned, the ranking that India gets on corruption index and poverty levels and so on and so forth. So I thought it was my job to do something about it. I thought that it was time that somebody said enough and really put forth a complete, thoroughly researched, non-partisan project in front of the Indian people, that let's review this. And I would emphasize non-partisan, because I've learned that from being a newspaper man, that the key to doing a really credible job of this kind in the realm of ideas is to stay non-partisan. So I'm very pleased that today we have Shantaji and Dr. Tharoor and Kuldeep Nayyar Saab representing the spectrum, from BJP to Congress, from politicians to commentators, and so on. So I am trying to do a credible job, thoroughly researched, in presenting in front of the people a complete picture. So that's another reason that I did the book. Whether this can be done in India or not, I actually am reminded of this question that I asked Kuldeep Nayyar Saab. That was actually one of my first questions. Nayyar Saab, ये कभी ऐसा हो सकता है इंडिया में? तो नैयर साहब का जवाब तब ये था कि इंडिया के करंट सिस्टम की हालत इतनी खराब है कि एक दिन इंडिया को करना पड़ेगा. अब वो क्या करना पड़ेगा वो डिबेटेबल है, कि बिल्कुल अमेरिकन स्टाइल को ही कॉपी करना है या उसमें वेरिएशन करनी है, वो एक डिबेट का मसला है. और मुझे लगता है कि ये एक दिन तो करना होगा, इंडिया को कुछ ना कुछ करना पड़ेगा. शांता जी ने बहुत उसको एम्फसाइज करके कहा है कि हालत इतनी ख़राब है कि आगे आपने शायद कहा कि गहरी खाई है. तो ये समय अब आ गया है कि अब 65 साल के बाद कि हमको इसको प्रॉपर्ली स्टडी करना चाहिए. मेरा अंदाज़ा है कि अगर हम मिलजुल कर इस पर बहस आगे बढ़ाएं और इसी तरीके से इसको नॉन पार्टिसन रखें, इसको लोगों तक ले जाए, हिंदी में भी और अंग्रेजी में भी, ऑनलाइन भी, प्रिंट भी, अखबारों में भी, तो ये किया जा सकता है और ये होगा. इससे मुझे एक दो चीज़ें याद आ गई. एक तो हमारे बीच आज कर्नल परमार हैं, बलबीर सिंह परमार. ये जैसे ही इनको खबर लगी कि ऐसी किताब आई है, इन्होंने मुझसे संपर्क किया. ये अभी देहरादून में है, 2008 में आप रिटायर हुए हैं, और इन्होंने एक पार्टी, एक पॉलिटिकल आउटफिट बनाया है, उसका नाम है सैनिक समाज पार्टी. सैनिक समाज पार्टी के करीब 40-50 हज़ार मेंबर्स हैं थ्रू आउट द नेशन. एंड गेस व्हाट देयर मिशन इज. इनकी पूरी पार्टी का मिशन है कि इंडिया में प्रेसिडेंशियल फॉर्म ऑफ तो ये किया जा सकता है. ऐसा नहीं है कि ये बहुत मुश्किल काम हो. दूसरी बात मुझे ये याद आई कि जब अमेरिका ने अपना सिस्टम बनाया तो वो भी एक किताब से शुरू हुआ था. अमेरिका की हिस्ट्री मैंने काफ़ी किताब में लिखी भी है. पहला जो उनका कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन था, आर्टिकल्स ऑफ कन्फेडरेशन, वो करीब 10 साल पुराना था जब ये जो करंट सिस्टम है उन्होंने बनाया, उसको इन्वेंट किया, नया सिस्टम बिल्कुल सिरे से. और उसकी शुरुआत भी एक किताब से हुई. जेम्स मैडिसन, जो बाद में प्रेसिडेंट भी बने, उनको अमेरिका का फादर ऑफ कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भी कहा जाता है. ही रोट अ बुक, and what he did was he studied about 3,000 years of federations, why they succeeded and why they failed, and he put forth his summary in a book form. And the conditions in the country were so bad at that time that many people said, well, let's reconsider the choice that we have made, just like what we are doing today. And they were coming from all kinds of backgrounds. So this was a non-partisan effort. Actually, parties were not invented until much later. So he wrote a book. He summarized the things that work and the things that don't work in 3,000 years. And then they got together, and within 55 people, within 4 months, they had reinvented government. They had decided that these are the principles that work, these are the principles that do not work. Let's formulate a new form of government, which later on became the presidential form of government. So within 4 months, they were able to do this invention. And within a year, they were able to get it passed by the 13 original colonies in their legislatures. The American Constitution is a constitution that was ratified by each state assembly, something that we did not do in India. So they took time to do that, but it was done within a year. So if we really want to do this, it's not far-fetched that it can be done in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So I believe it can be done. I have put forth a proposal as to how we can do this, and I appreciate the level of debate that we have started today from the likes of Shantaji and Dr. Tharoor and Nair Saab. It's a high-level debate, and we intend to carry it forward at all forums. And I hope, and I am counting on your support, Dr. Tharoor especially, because you have been quite a persuasive speaker, and your arguments are valid, and I would urge you to consider continuing your support for the project. Thank you very much.